When we face ourselves in a direct way, and there's no more direct way to face ourselves than to be at ease with whatever appears, it very quickly becomes obvious that nothing else is needed. No matter what appears, it already is timelessly free. So to try to make it into something that is timelessly free is completely unnecessary and misguided effort. Whatever the circumstances are of your own life, they're already timelessly free, no matter what they are. Circumstances don't need to change at all, whether you're living in an ashram, a monastery, Amsterdam, New York, Bakersfield, California, Singapore, no matter where it is. Your circumstances are perfect for realizing who you are, whether you're married or not, or involved in methods or practices or not. Just relax and certainly enjoy whatever it is you're involved in. And the greatest enjoyment comes about just through resting, knowing that nothing is needed. Nothing that is occurring in your life is an avenue or a route to something else. Everything that appears is super complete in itself. So the moment we think that something we're doing is an avenue to something else, then we have a doer who's doing something headed to a destination that occurs totally within time. So the entire process is included within conventional belief systems and within time-based causation. So, who we are is completely beyond time and space and any kind of causation. When we just rest, this becomes obvious. And if you don't believe me, just give it a try. What could it hurt? What could it hurt, huh? Just give it a whirl for a while. You don't need to change anything about your life. Wow, we have people who are lifers in prison and on death row who are resting as awareness, who have been able to come to complete terms with their lives and everything that has gone on in them, and to live a life of total timeless freedom in that ashram called a prison. But, if we really think that our thoughts, emotions, and experiences need to be changed in order to realize who we are in prison. We're completely shackled by beliefs that, shackles, those are the things they put on prisoners so they can't move their hands and arms and their feet and legs. Well, if we think anything needs to change, then we're shackled. If we think the projections of our own mind need to be changed, then we really are in shackles. And even if there's one thought or emotion that we think needs to be changed, we're still completely in prison because nothing needs to change. No matter what it is, if you have a horrible disease and you're completely in pain, or you feel like the healthiest person on earth, you're strong as Arnold Schwarzenegger, or as weak as the man dying in the street, whatever it is, it's completely timelessly free. Whatever the circumstances are. The natural state, the ease of our own being, is guaranteed to everyone. It's the great equalness of everything as it is. So equal that absolutely nothing needs to be changed about anyone, and so filled with loving kindness, so pervaded by totally perfect love, that nothing whatsoever needs to change about anyone. So no one needs to get the same kinds of thoughts and emotions that an historical figure had or a current figure has. And None of this is necessary. Whatever your own circumstances are, they're the circumstances of a greatly realized being, of one who has everything they need to realize the great perfection of everything as it is. We all know, we absolutely know that I've never met a person who does not know that love is the essence of everything, that this love, wisdom, and energy, that it really is the essence of everything. And no matter what we've been thinking is the right thing to do, it's always the urge to freedom. And very often we only know to do what's presented to us by other people. So those are the only approaches we know to take. And this oldest of all teachings that has been passed down for many, many thousands of years, it's a teaching that was very difficult to get until just recently, just very recently. It was a teaching that very few people could get. So, and the unerring instruction related to it. So for the first time in human history, this is available to everyone. And all of the instruction associated with it is available. All the support that is necessary is completely available. What I'm talking about, even though it is the oldest practice, it's been taught for many, many thousands of years, it's so natural that for me, it occurred in my own mind stream in a time of great upset. I didn't really even know about non-dual philosophy, or that it was possible to have any kind of way of being human that was completely free of assessing and judging everything that happened. I didn't even know that anything like that was possible. But in a time of great upset, where I had a very traumatic to my body and unexpected event occur, all my thoughts and emotions and experiences were just completely running wild. And none of my very accomplished strategies that I'd developed for dealing with life and living life at that point worked at all. And in the hopelessness and powerlessness of that, I suddenly realized that all these thoughts and emotions that were so troublesome to me, that they all had the same underlying basis, the same basic space, and that if I just rested at that, there was complete relief. So resting as that relief, I found complete freedom from everything very quickly, but not apart from everything as everything. Just that the basic space of everything is complete relief. And for me, that happened quickly in about 10 days. So I immediately, it was just so amazing that everything is as it is, and that this is the way it is for everyone. This is the way it is for everyone. I became very interested in that because I knew that there must be many other people who had realized the same thing. And so indeed, there are. This is a tradition that's been handed down forever. When I do have a couple of very close friends who are Tibetan lamas. And so, we share a friendship group. This is what I'd call it. All of the great freedom teachings are translated into Tibetan for Wangdo Rinpoche, who is a close friend of mine. And then another Tibetan Lama, a woman who studied with Wangdo Rinpoche, as a close friend of mine, Lama Lena. Yeah. It's just to have a natural, easygoing friendship among all the people of the world is what resting imperturbably is about. It's not about any kind of tradition or anything like that. And What Wangdur Rinpoche says about the Great Freedom Teaching is that it's the same teaching as he has that's been passed down in that lineage. However, it's for everybody. It's spoken in a way that everyone can understand. It's just, one of the things that is interesting about these times is that before now, there are many methods and practices that have been culturally specific, but that has been the case only because we didn't have the kind of technologies we have today that connect people. People were geographically isolated, and it was difficult for them to communicate with people outside their culture. So these very beautiful practices and traditions grew up within those cultures to serve the people where they came about. And today we're going through this really amazing change and evolution in humankind, where all of a sudden we're all connected as a global human family. We can talk to each other easily on the telephone or over the internet. We can travel to visit each other. And we have tremendous access to all kinds of information about teachings and teachers. So this is very, very new. It's very, very new. And one of the wonderful things about it is that for the first time, we can develop a global grassroots culture of living as awareness, of resting as awareness, and really have a support system for doing that that's no different than the customer service in a big company. Lots of companies provide customer service 24 hours a day. And this is no different. We're participating in something that's very dear to us, that we want to have the full-blown experience of, that we can count on in our lives. We want to know that we'll be supported in that. And there aren't any sacred cows anywhere. The moment that we have a conventional belief we can't let go of, that's the moment we need to rest as awareness. Because awareness doesn't need anything to keep it in place or kind of shift it into gear. It's already super complete in itself. Awareness has never had any conventional beliefs. It's a spontaneous expression of equalness. And in different eras, it appears in forms that'll be suitable to that era. It appears as teachings that will be suitable to that era.